Hey gang, welcome to Bugbears and Brews. My name is Brian, and today we're recapping the 27th session of our Tomb of Annihilation campaign. There was a 26th session, but life got away from me, and I didn't have time to record it. I didn't even send out a written recap to my players. So, long story short, on that one, you guys discovered two more sarcophagi with some pretty strong items in it. One was a Mace of Terror, and one was a Staff of Healing. And no deaths, although Obrecht now has absolutely no gear that is metal because of a trap. And while we're talking today about the 27th recap, I'm reading a Taken for Granite, TFG, Magic Hat Brewing. I always like Magic Hat guys. I don't think I've actually ever had this one. It came in a variety pack that I want to check out. So, or their jam pack, whatever it is that they call it. We're going to go ahead and take a drink, and then we'll get started. It tastes like something I can't remember. This has a very familiar IPA. Some other company has one that's very similar to this. Kind of curious what all is in it. I should look that up first, huh? Oh, well. I do know it's supposed to be like an American-based IPA. So, all right. So 27th session, we start off kind of exploring this fountain area that was by this kind of magnetic trap, so only people that didn't have metal on them could go to it. And so Obrecht went because he was already metal free, minus like a grappling hook. So he has a grappling hook, he has a Mace of Terror, and that's about it as far as metal objects go. Navarre went and Sai went. And so you guys kind of played around with it a little bit. Some, debating, do we drink from it? Do we not? Leorn's down the hall shouting, you shouldn't drink from it, you shouldn't drink from it. And you guys decide you're going to drink from it anyway. Obrecht takes the first drink. Nothing seems to happen to him. He feels a little lightly refreshed, that kind of stuff there, but nothing major. And then so after a brief moment, Navarre takes a drink, and Navarre can't speak after that. So he's shouting, he's silent. He can move his mouth, but he can't do any words. Words. He can't form them, or can't make any sound. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. And as he's looking at, trying to figure out what the hell's going on, he looks over at Obrecht, and Obrecht is slowly turning into a female. So Obrecht became Obrechta. After that, Sai's like, I'm not messing with this stuff. You can't talk. You now have tits. Let's head back to the party. Sai heads back, but Navarre and Obrechta decide to go exploring a little bit. They head on through the kind of trapped area, head across, and they find a secret door into the room with the two statues that you guys were in previously, and deciding that this room has a pretty similar setup to, or where you guys enter from the secret entrance. There's a pretty significant area that you guys thought would probably be hidden as well, so you guys went down there. Lo and behold, there was a mirror hidden door there. Open it up, and you hear click, and then all of a sudden, giant flame goes on at you. It singes all sorts of eyebrows, that kind of stuff there. Kind of takes care of a little bit of Obrechta's facial hair. From there, though, you can see steps going down, and then at the bottom of the steps, there's that same winding river that you guys came across before, underground river. And it's kind of loud one direction, flowing nice and slow the other direction. So Navarre sends his owl off, sees that there's a chest surrounded by 4 chains. And so you're like, all right, let's, not necessarily around it, suspended by 4 chains above the water. And there's all this water coming in from cracks in the walls, that kind of stuff there. So Obrechta and Navarre decide they're going to go ahead and sneak back up around the party and startle them, because they're expecting them from one way because they didn't know about the secret doors that they found. Oh, on top of that, you guys did find a secret doorway leading down some steps that did have some hammering going on down the stairs. But you guys didn't go further down there at that time. I really wish I could remember which one of these, what other IPA tastes a lot like this. It's malty, not like super malty, but for an IPA, it's malty. That's for sure. It says grapefruit, orange, peach, cherry for the hops. Don't get the cherry, get the grapefruit. You can kind of get the peachy. Orange is probably lost in there a little bit. Get the maltiness though for an IPA. Because it reminds me of something. I don't remember what other freaking brand. It's going to drive me nuts. Okay, so you guys snuck around, told the party, hey, startled them, told the party, or I guess Obrecht did because Navarre can't speak, led them to the walkway down and the treasure chest. You guys kind of debated how to best go about it because there seemed to be a pit or a sunken in area surrounding this thing, and it had this big old grinning demon face on it, and on the mouth of it, or like on the inside of the demon face, right above the keyhole, is that only the greatest thieves won't get eaten, or something along those lines. And after a few minutes of debate, you guys decided we'll just cast knock on it. Knock worked, it unlocked, also made lots of noise. And you guys opened it up, and there was a bunch of gold in there. I think there was like 300 gold altogether, which only Navarre and Ildrix grabbed a hold of. There was a goblet that had a little sad pantomime face on it. And there was a scroll which turned out to be Remove Curse, if I recall. Yeah, that rings a bell. No trap though. So that's really good for you guys. And you guys decided, instead of going down the main way, down to level 2, feeling that you have level 1 pretty much taken care of, you're going to go down that secret way that you guys found. So you guys open up the sliding door, head on down the stairs, and you see a quartet of kind of zombified dwarves. They're in this funky gear. They're like working on pieces. A couple of them are up by like this machine type deal on the edge there. And so Obrechta stops in there, kind of woos these guys a little bit with her newfound womanly ways. And they're like, hey, we can come with us. We can make it better, and that's when Obrechta's like, I'm all right. Let's not do that. And so they make them better, stronger. Like they were clearly working on some sort of contraptional type deal that they were trying to lead Obrechta to. And so what happened then, some of these undeady type dwarves come down and check you guys, see Obrechta, and then look around the corner and see the rest of the party, and they just start shouting in all this old language here, except for the one that was that spoke common dwarven. And so you guys are like, oh shit, things are breaking down. Let's break into combat. We get into a kind of dangerous combat, mainly because Obrechta is gearless, minus a Mace of Terror. You guys have been towards the end of the day, so you guys have gone through a lot of stuff. So you're running kind of low on components there. We're short one player, and then Navarre can't speak, so most of his spells that have verbal components he can't cast. So I think Hypnotic Illusion, Hypnotic Pattern is what he relied on. And he used it to great effect. I think he opened up with that and got 3 out of the 5. 3 out of the 5 of the dwarves. One of the dwarves went down really quickly. 2 of them went and opened up the door of the thing that they were working on, and it was this like half-formed dwarf golem type deal. It starts charging at you guys, and it did some okay damage, but you guys kind of focus fired on that because everybody else was under the hypnotic pattern there, so kind of taken care of. So you guys were able to kind of drill down on guys and get them dead pretty quickly. As this is going on, though, there's a group that comes in through the door, and so they're like, oh, another group of dwarves like, this isn't good. 2 of them start shooting at you. One of them goes charging down the hallway, closes the door behind her. And One of the dwarves that you guys were fighting, snapped out of the hypnotic pattern to somebody because of somebody hitting it, and it ran into the little steam door type deal and shut itself in and started screaming and hollering and all sorts of painful sounds. And you guys assumed it was trying to transform itself into one of those golem type creatures. Slowly over time, that screaming faded, and before anything could happen with it, I think Sai went over and closed it with the movable rod. Did that. Eventually you could hear the doors, start to shake a little bit, but couldn't get past the immovable rod. You guys took care of the dwarves. Barlow did a really good fireball, which took care of a decent amount of the hit points on them, and then they came over and to focus on Barlow a little bit more, and he did a wall of fire, and that took out those guys. Finish those guys off there. So even though having those new additions, Barlow still had a little bit of oomph left, which allowed you guys to, sorry, my knee itches, allow you guys to kind of, take care of those guys pretty quickly. After that, you guys are, they're dead. Let's hurry up. Let's pile a bunch of the bodies over on the far side because somebody's going to be coming through there. That's not going to be good. We can always just double back and kind of figure things out a bit better. And so took a look around the room, found a couple lockpick things, some weird undeady squirrels inside boxes. You're not quite sure what that's all about. Obrekta got some leather armor, as well as a battle axe and a crossbow if she wanted it. I don't recall if she took the crossbow or not. There was also a ghost lantern, which is kind of like a lantern, but also a mage hand that can be used by people. And as you guys were trying to attempt to take your rest, the upstairs, the stairs you guys came in from, slid open, and a gentleman with some sort of weird masky type flesh mask thing came down the stairs and was not impressed that you made him take the long way around. And that is where we wrapped up. While this was an enjoyable session, it was really combat heavy, and anytime we have combat heavy sessions, it's just like, it's not my favorite part of D&D, honestly, which is, part of the reason why I'm wanting to switch over to, I shouldn't say wanting, we are switching over to Star Wars Age of the Empire after this campaign. And so, it's just, to do a balanced combat with a table our size, you have to throw a lot of people out there. And so it really slows down the night, and so we don't get as much done as I'd like. That said, I thought this was a pretty appropriate challenge for you guys, given where you're at. I really like that we are pressing you guys, and you guys aren't trying to do a long rest every few minutes. I think you guys were attempting to do your third short rest of the day, and you were going to try to push a long rest if you could when you were interrupted. So you didn't even get your short rest in, but you guys have done quite a bit, and so looking forward to see where next week picks up. We didn't continue on because we thought that was a pretty good natural stopping point, even though we had about 20 minutes left. But that's where we left off. I'll talk to you later, guys. Bye.